Shower Thoughts with JJ.
So when do you decide it's time to replace your underwear? Kids today have no idea what the grind that dial-up internet is. They're there to cradle my taters. So until they're not cradling my taters, I'm rocking with them. They're holding my tater set. That's when it's time for underwear replacement. Showed a little side boob, put a computer in the family room and watch that kid grow through adversity.
Vagina stories.
Hey, why's it put her out? And I scooted. She woke up to me with my hand in a bag of Cheetos. I was stumbling and bumbling. Two tall boys to get a shot.
You gotta stop pooping your pants.
And I trusted a fart and lost.
Well done, Mars. Well done.
Trusted a fart and lost. Always a classic and unfortunate circumstance that happens way too often in my life. Shower thoughts this week. So things to be happy about that happened as we were kids and not adults. So what are we looking back retrospectively and saying, man, I'm so glad that happened when I was a kid. So I'm going to start off with a few. The first one was the easiest one. This I thought out right out of the gate. Circumcision. Not a chance in hell as an adult. I'm driving myself to the doctor and be like, hey, can you axe off half my wiener? Zero chance. Number two, I also think it's a layup. Braces.
Definitely.
Not going to the weekly checkup, not doing that, not getting them tightened. No chance of going to get rubber bands or talking like I have a list. Easy one there too. The third one, as I woke up today a little sore, I realized that thank God I don't have sports injuries as an adult, because you blow a hammy as a grown-ass man, you're limping into work and everybody's like, what'd you do this weekend? Hey, man, I tried to kick a football and it just wasn't there anymore. You go into the broken wrist in high school, everybody, oh, man, sorry, you're out for a couple weeks. Good luck. See you. And the last one I got is a middle ground. Or I shouldn't say it's convincing, but I think prom would fucking suck as an adult. You got to think, you're going there. I got to find a date. We got to get matching the suit. Then I go get on some bad restaurant that's supposed to be really fancy. I've got chaperones. I got to stay sober, in quotation marks. I'm out on prom. I think if you take away the chaperones, I can wear the fuck I want to do, dance however I want to dance, and get shit-faced, I'm all in. But prom, no chance.
Sounds like just going to their wedding.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
well, just go
there we go.
Like yeah, there you go. So that was quite a bit of things. So definitely circumcision would be out for me if it was up to me now. There's not a question. I'm not volunteering unless they come to me and they say, Nick, it's either the foreskin or all of it. I'm going take the skin, guys. You know, like what anything short of that, I'm keeping it. And I'm gonna have an anteater until they put me in the ground. Jesus, that's fine, and that's fine, and that's fine. There's a lot of guys out there that have it, and that's fine. They're getting by just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But if they gotta take me in there, and this is wrong, and there's no way this is actually how it happens. But I see this little mini dick guillotine thing that like. That's the picture of my mind is that if you go in, they just hang your and then and I'm like, oh, you know, that's not what you want. That's the last thing that you want as a grown up right now. I don't even like accidentally like when the dog jumps up and like hits me kind of in the nuts with his paw. I'm just like down for the count. I don't even want that. And you're talking about you're gonna go put the knife to this guy? Nah. I mean, we're gonna eventually do some. I know that Joe, you've got some surgery coming up that is going to require a knife in that area. Is that news to me or is that news to everybody?
Oh, you mean ending my future family growth? Yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I need to go take care of that like ASAP.
Right, but that's a choice you're making as an adult, which is very similar to the question at hand. With the knife and a pee-pee.
I agree though. Yeah. Man, that's an interesting one I would have never thought about, but like you're right. It's probably the most obvious, like
because none of us can remember about it.
The thought of getting snipped makes me want to throw up. Imagine getting half your
I wasn't even an hour old and they had my dick skin. That was it. They had it before I knew I had it. I didn't even know they had it.
When I found out they just keep it going.
When I found out they took it, I was fine. I was like, hey, keep it.
Well, apparently for JJ that they cut off half his wiener. So I thought it was just an anteater little end, but he apparently said it was half of his. So
they chopped half your dick off?
No.
Damn, where were you born? Not Arizona.
That's rough.
Hey, back there in the
let's
the
go
foothills of
Hoosiers,
Southern
right?
Indiana.
Give me
Oh,
a
yeah.
break.
He said, "Yeah, I don't have half of my wiener
Rub
cut off." And
some
I was
corn
like,
on it.
"Did you just say half? I didn't think
He
everyone
said
had half, but
Maybe
I heard
half means the skin. That's a lot of.
Yeah, the half
You know
of the
what?
skin.
Let's move on to braces. Let's move on to braces because braces sucked. I had braces. Did anybody else have braces besides
Yes.
JJ?
I
And
had
braces
for a long
So
time."
braces sucked for two reasons.
Ugh.
One, and this was the rubber bands that they would put on them to bring them together, and then in the back they had the little they would reach back there with their little wrench and they would just tighten
Oh,
the wire. They would tighten the wire
It'll make
if they were
sense.
trying to move them around in a certain way.
Yeah.
And every time I went to the orthodontist, there was no chewing for at least a day, maybe two. It was the most awful shit to go through. And I'll tell you what, I'll take it. I'll let you probably reach back and kick me in the nuts as hard as you can before I let them fill that fucking metal tray full of pink goo and ram it into your fucking head. And you fucking almost throw. It's the biggest thing. It's like it's made for somebody. It was made for Andre the Giant. It's this big, and they just fill it with so much goo. You're like, there's no way that much goo would fit in a fucking jar. And they fucking.
Did you
fill it
get
up
your
in this
braces
thing.
done in Mexico?
No, it was it was
was it?
Tennessee in the 90s. Let's go. So
Let's
they
go.
just so Bertho said with that goo and just bam, and I think I still got some in my throat now. It just and she's like, "This is for your retainer," and I'm like, "Good. I can't wait to lose this in the garbage at
Yep,
lunch." You
same.
know, which did happen. You can ask
I'll
my
be-
dad. Fact check that.
I'll be retaining this moment for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can't get these moments back. Enjoy them.
I
My
lost
son's
3 of
about
my
to get it.
retainers. Oh, he's about to get them. Oh,
Yes, to
Is
get
he-
him. Yeah, courtesy.
Is he going to
of
get the
his-
real kind where they glue the fucking brackets on each tooth, or is he
Don't
going to
know
get
yet.
the Invisalign, or is he going to get the 800 braces or the?
They
like a
don't even
clear
do that
tray?
anymore
I say, I
unless
don't
he's
even know
got
what the options
super
are.
messed up teeth.
No,
How are
he's-
his teeth? How are they looking?
He's got, I'd say like 90% of them are spot on.
Oh,
10%
he'll
is
get
jacked.
He
He'll
doesn't
get-
have
he'll
any.
get the
He
small
doesn't
deal.
have any that are coming out, does he?
No, he's got 2 though that are just not. They're not sitting in the right spot.
They're not
They're on the
playing
same
ball,
team.
are they?
Yeah, he's kind of.
You're going.
Like,
You're going,
unbothered by it.
guys. Hey, over here, over
I
here.
seen
And
it.
they're
I
just
seen
not
it real
getting.
early.
They're
I saw
just
it
not
real
getting
early.
it. They're just like, they're just
No,
right
man.
there. They are.
mine do that now because I lost my retainer 3 times, threw it away in the trash somewhere, and never got. So now
I did that. at
mine
school.
are shifting, and they like to just go their own separate ways. And I'm like, we don't have time for this anymore. So
Dude, my dad made me go in the dumpster after that sumbitch. I'm not playing. I was in the 5th grade and I had my retainer and I left it on. I took it out and put it on the tray at school because you had the little plastic tray at lunch. And I set it on my tray and I ate my food. And then you know how people are. You get to talking, right? I'm like 10 years old. I'm just jacking around. And next thing you know, it's dump the whole tray, throw it in the dishwasher, leave. Get home. And I'm like, and I don't remember what exactly I said. The adult version of me thinks I said, fuck, but I know I didn't say that because I was a little kid, but I was absolutely mortified to tell my dad. I had to go tell him. I tell my dad, and we go back to the school. It's still daylight. We didn't live that far. We go back to the school and we get up in the dumpster and start going through the trash, looking for this retainer. And long story short, didn't find it. Had to go get a new one. But I didn't lose another one after that because hell, if I'm going back in that motherfucking dumpster after another one, or he probably would have just killed me and put me in it. And that would have been the end of the retainers, the meat, the whole thing. Just shut the door on the whole operation. But fortunately, I made it through. What was the last one? Well, you had a couple
Prom.
more.
Yeah,
Prom.
2 more. I had sports injuries and prom.
I hated prom back then.
Dude, I busted my hamstring playing kickball a couple years ago. And you're right. You can't go to work. Like you go, like I was, okay. So I had a little side job back in the day where I put these signs out for these real estate people and I put them out at nighttime, and it was nighttime. I'm picking them up and I go to grab a sign and they're kind of off in a ditch, and I step on the curb and I twist my ankles like Patrick Mahomes did. And I'm laying in the ditch, just flat on my back. I'm laying there And I'm just
with
like
a real estate sign right on top of me,
just laying next to it. I hadn't even got to it. I'm laying up, looking up at the stupid thing, like, you fucking sign. And I'm laying there and my ankle is just, I'm like, oh God, I've done it enough times where I know it's bad. Right. So I get up, I get the sign, I get it back in the truck. And I'm like, I've got about 30 minutes before this thing seizes up big time, because it's already exploded up. It's like the size of a softball. I'm like, this is not good. So I get done, get back to the house, and Kristen just like, what have you done? And I have to go into the office, right? And I'm, working construction. So I go into the office with, this tennis shoe on, because that's the only shoe that I can fit on this fat ankle and foot.
huge.
It's so big. And you're right. It was humble pie. I had to go in there and tell them all that, I fell down, go boom, big tree fall hard. Strong like bull, smart like tractor, like, just a big dumbass just fell down outside, It
was like a basketball. I mean, it was
bad,
so swollen, like he'd been playing sports.
But the hamstring's bad, because you had to tell him that I had to tell him I was playing kickball, which is, funny in of itself to be like, yeah, I kicked the shit out of it and I took off. First couple of 3 steps, I was like feeling good.
Yep.
Last step, pow. I'm like, this isn't good. I don't have a doctor, there's no trainer. I don't have any ice. This isn't good. So it was blue and black and all shades of purple by the time I got home. So sports injuries as an adult, no bueno.
Dude, I've literally been sitting here waiting for this hamstring cramp to kick in this entire show. I don't know if y'all saw, but like when we had a little break, I went and grabbed a banana like in the break, because I played soccer earlier and I've been sitting here like, man, it's coming. I know it's coming. I'm just gonna have a code word that's just like, hey, y'all, I'm gonna dip out
blueberries.
Over there and be like,
you hear Joe say blueberries. He's got to go tend to a Charlie horse, which
you'll hear before you know it. He goes, Gah! And he just stands up. Blueberries. He stands up.
You'll see this mirror in the background, just like a hat bobbing up and down, just like cussing. Somebody give me a fucking banana.
Yeah, I didn't really get prom either, JJ. Like, prom was something that was like this made up, I went, I started going when I was a sophomore. I went to probably 8 proms. It was stupid. And I went it was the dumbest thing. I was always at prom.
He still goes.
I was like Patrick, I was like Matthew McConaughey. I keep getting older. They give me the same age,
There it is.
What a whore.
So
hey,
I have a different prom experience, because I graduated in Las Vegas, or Henderson technically, but just outside of Las Vegas. So when you go to prom in Las Vegas, somebody easily has like a limo hookup, because there's a ridiculous amount in Vegas. So you're getting your limo, you're getting with your boys, you're picking up your girls, you got the corsages and all that nonsense. But then you're going to the strip to have some fancy ass dinner at some place.
I wonder who can spell corsage out of this group.
Oh, none of us. You get to dinner, and hopefully that's comp, because somebody knows somebody else. But sometimes you have to pay for it. But shit, your parents are probably paying for that shit. Then you go back, you go to the dance, you get in there, you dance a couple songs, you take pictures, which takes way too long. Then you get back in the limo, and then you go see a show on the strip. So like I went to see, I think Lance Burton, who's like the magician once, and like. Yeah. I remember it was prom, and he took like, can somebody has a suit jacket I can borrow? And I'm like, well, I have mine. And like, he puts it on some girl, and then she disappears. And he's like, oh, do you want the jacket or the girl? And I was like, I want the car. And he's like, jacket, good choice. And I'm like, wait, what just happened here? And then my jacket appears with the girl, and whatever, blah, 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 blah. But then you go and like hang out afterwards. But
so wait. He said, so it really didn't matter what you said. He said jacket. He said, so
the people in my area definitely heard me say car, because he also made the car disappear. And I was like, I can care less about this jacket.
Give me the car. And he said, jacket, good choice.
Yep.
Hey, Alex. So at least you actually got to ride in a limo. So for my prom, my dear mother, bless her heart, she somehow found this limo company, and it was a former hearse.
She went cheap on them.
So they show up, and we are like, Oh my gosh, that's a hearse. We don't want to ride in that. You get in there, there's like rope lights that's taped up to the ceiling. It's supposed to be a cooler, and it was like a Tupperware box. And I thought that when we took a curve that the whole thing was going to separate into two parts of the vehicle. And it was legit a hearse that had been transformed into a limo. And it was the most mortifying experience. So they pull up and we're like, oh, you can just drop us off like way back here. We will totally walk into the, dinner and walk into the place.
Oh, and did like not just playing, like dropped them off and they walked like around the corner. So nobody had to see them get out of this hearse.
Yeah, it was brutal. So
I go viral now.
Yeah.
I remember one of my proms, we went to dinner, got to the dance, took pictures, didn't have time to dance because we had to go get to our show. I don't even remember which show it was this year or whatever, but we went back to the strip. Limo driver dropped us back off in the parking lot where our cars were. And like we had not danced the whole time. So like my friend opened up his car door, popped in the Weezer CD, the blue CD, and the first album.
You're
and
so old.
We danced in the parking lot of the high school because we didn't get to dance at the dance because we had to go to our show. We didn't want to be late.
Weezer.
Well, priorities. Weezer.
That was what y'all chose to dance to. Weezer.
Yeah.
We were cool, hipstery, rad kids at that point in time.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You had a good time.
1997, maybe 1998.
But you're like, none of us can dance. Let's make music that no one can dance to. And then
we were slow dancing,
crying in the rain.
Slow dancing with our dates. It's not like we were getting down or something or other.
Should have been.
Yeah,
Ew.
could have been.
Brown chicken, brown cow,
That's true.
Anyways, Vegas prom sounds like an interesting, definitely different than Southern proms for sure.
Yep.
And clearly different than Midwestern proms as well.
Sounds a little different than my reservation at the Olive Garden. So
Hey,
The Olive Garden.
that was
You
before
loaded
all
up-
you could eat
you loaded up-
salads.
Yeah, that was back when it was still, a la carte.
walk in there in a suit and a dress and the Olive Garden pizza and their pajamas. Here we go. And there's the fanciest dinner in Bloomington, Indiana. Strap up, boys and girls.
We had Burger King my junior year. Actually, we went to a restaurant and they overbooked and we had nowhere to go. And like literally right next door was Burger King. And I was like, thank God. I mean,
Right. You're starving, right?
I was like, this is not my girlfriend. This is like my, we're both each
girl
other's backup type.
This is
option,
who I brought. Right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to buy her anything. So
PK, don't you have it your way? Sponsor
Sponsor us.